Hi, I'm Danny Burple of DannyBurple.com, and in this video I wanted to show you my weekly journal. This is basically how I make every day count. This is available as a free PDF download on my website, so you could try it out. I realize in this video here you can't quite see it. I'm going to have a follow-up video where I'll zoom in and show you more of the nitty-gritty. The weekly journal is how I basically force myself to face the facts, to improve myself every day, and basically set myself up for success. This journal started off as a little motivational exercise that I was doing. I was doing 3 grateful things, and what happened was I ended up creating a habit where I would sit down for a couple minutes and do a thing that would improve my day, every day. Over time, I started to discover more tools, and that habit started to include more things. It very quickly turned into, let me jot down a few to-do items, let me check them off, what did I do yesterday, what's my major goal for today? It just started to turn into more. And what I started to discover was, as I was learning various productivity and mindset tools, they were floating in and out of my journal as my journal was evolving over time. It's been about 4 years since I started this, and like I said, I use it every day, and I've added a lot of tools to it, and I've also pulled a lot out, so I've refined it over time. There was a point in time where this journal took me an hour in the morning, which is ridiculous. So I refined it down to about 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, and then 10 minutes once a week. What I learned was, when I write things down, they tend to come true. And because of that, I started writing more down. That's why this is a journal, and not, say, an audio track that you listen to or a phrase that you say. It's a journal because when I write things down, it clearly focuses my mind on what it is I'm after and how I'm going to get it. And when I write things down, they tend to come true. A few things this is not. This is not a Dear Diary. This is not kind of spending your time talking about your day, talking about your wants and dreams, talking about all the things that bothered you today and how the world is against you. In fact, this is meant to fight the kind of victim story and the narrator in your head and get you back on track and moving. This is also not a bunch of brainstorming or babbling. There are other tools for that. If you're going to brainstorm an idea, use a mind map, for example. Finally, this is not fun or easy. It's not meant to be fun or easy. This is a mental workout. The same way you would work out at a gym, you're working out for a reason. Odds are people go to the gym to work out for maybe an hour a day to get results. That's what this is. This is a mental workout. It takes 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening, and it gets results. That's why I do it. So like I said, early on, this was just 3 grateful things. 3 grateful things was a great place to start. It gets you centered, it gets you focused and motivated for the day, it gets you to stop rushing, it gets you to appreciate where you are in life and appreciate where you're going. From there, I started to notice other stuff. Quite literally, I noticed that some days feel a little better than others. Some days just felt lucky. Lucky as in I achieved something, or I got some kind of success, or lucky in, wow, today just felt really good. It was a very happy day. I wonder why. And I started to tune into, there's a difference between having a lucky, accidental success and an intentional success. And I started to pursue ways to create intentional success. And that starts with discovering what's already there. So early on, I added a small post-mortem step. Not a big deal. I would just ask myself, hey, what worked? And how can I make this happen more often? And also, what went wrong? And how can I set it up for success? Those 2 small things are ultimately what drove my whole Winpower diet and how I lost 40 pounds in 4 months. From there, I started to discover more tools and adding them in. And the ones that worked stuck around, the ones that didn't work, I pulled out. Like I said, it's about 4 years of refining here. So I added goals, better goal setting, better deadlines, better tracking, better accountability. And quite quickly I started to realize bigger goals mattered. Not just the day-to-day to-do items, but what am I trying to accomplish with my day? What am I trying to accomplish with my week? what am I trying to accomplish with my life? So the goals and the visions started just to creep in, and things just got bigger. I continued to hold on to motivational steps, bigger visions of the future, remembering why you're doing what you're doing, and also some time creation. The more you start planning on making the time to get things done, the more often they get done. So as time went on, I started to realize there's two main factors going on here. There's a push for success and to keep myself on that track. But there's also a push to slow down and look around and enjoy the life I've already got. What I noticed was when the journal would lean too far one way or the other, something would suffer. If I was all about winning and success and achievement, I was killing myself, working 12 hours, and not really enjoying life. But if I was all about slowing down and enjoying life and appreciating everything around me, things were kind of falling behind. Once I realized that there was a balance between these two elements, and that it's not just about productivity, and it's not just about happiness, it's about both. That's when the journal actually got divided into two columns here. So one is about achievement, and one is about savoring. And what I found is the human ego loves to achieve. The human ego loves to compare, to judge. How am I doing against them? How are they doing against me? How can I do better? How can I win? That's all the human ego. You could just silence that narrator in your head just a little bit. You could start to basically breathe things in and enjoy where you are right now and just be more in the moment. So what I was after is a balance between the two. I want to achieve. I want to win. But I also want to enjoy my wins. I also want to enjoy just waking up in the morning, enjoy the life that I've created. I also found that the human ego, that narrator in your head, likes to fall into a victim story mode, where it's comparing you to other things, other people, other places in life, and deciding I'm not good enough. And that victim story, basically just a bunch of whining in your head, can really bring you down and get you stuck. So I started to introduce tools to knock myself out of the victim story. And what's funny is when I pulled out 3 grateful things, which is what the whole thing started with, when I pulled out 3 grateful things, I immediately had victim story start to take over my life, where I was spending all my time comparing myself to everybody else, and woe me, poor me, why is my life not good, better, etc., etc. When in reality, I've achieved a lot in my lifetime so far, and I plan on achieving a lot more. So I started introducing ways to knock myself out of the victim story, which again is why this is not a Dear Diary. This is not a bunch of whining. I hate whining, specifically. So that is why you're going to see 2 columns here. You're going to see something that appeases the positive side of the human ego, and something that appeases no ego. Just stop, breathe it all in, be in the moment. So again, I realize you can't see, like I said, I'm going to have another video with a close-up, but I just want to let you know, in practice, I sit down once a week for about 10 or 20 minutes, and I set up my week. And then every day, I spend 10 minutes in the morning priming my day, and 10 minutes in the evening basically recapping my day, analyzing my day, and looking for ways to improve. So for example, on a Sunday, I might sit down and fill out this front page, which is all about goal setting. Here are my achievements. Here are the things I want to savor. This is this year, so what do I want to achieve this year? What do I want to savor this year? Then I break that down into this month and this week. And I go with this phrase here that says, what do I need to accomplish or savor to guarantee my time feels like a win? And when I stumbled upon this phrase, I found that I started to take my goal setting a lot more seriously. After that, I dropped the cover. So on the inside, it's broken into 2 pieces. What I do in the morning, which is like a daily primer. This is where I get my head straight. This is where I plan my day, remember why I'm doing these things. At the end of the day, I've got basically a recap, a reflect, and a how can I do this better? So this is where I set myself up for success tomorrow. So at the end of the week, I've got one more spot here where I will take a look at how my week went. I'll reflect on things that worked and didn't work, and I will find ways to set myself up for success this following week. What that does is, when I analyze and reflect on a daily basis, it helps me more like in the trenches style of items. When I do it weekly, it's more of a higher level, and it's kind of a difference between being in the trenches and fighting and being on the hill planning a strategy for your whole force. On a daily basis, I do kind of analyze, what am I doing down here in the trenches? What's getting done and what's not working? And then on a weekly basis, I take a moment to say, wait, how is this strategy working? Overall, where am I going and how can I do this better? So I know the questions could come up immediately. Do I fill out every inch of this every day? And I just want to make sure that I make it clear, the weekly part, yes. Every week I stop and I really go through all my goals. The daily part, it's a little harder. Life gets in the way sometimes. I find that when I do stop and do a whole page every day, the way I intend to do, I'm more centered, I get more done, and I'm at the top of my game. If for some reason something comes up and I can't do everything, I'll skip around a little bit, I'll hit the high notes. And if I happen to miss a day or two, I'll just pick it up wherever I am and just keep going. Say I skipped a couple days and this is today, I will literally just start it and go. Or if I'm at the end of a day and I skipped a couple days, I'll just start with the daily wrap up and go. And basically pick it up wherever I left off. Again, I know that life gets in the way and I don't always get a chance to do all of it, but the more complete this page is every day, the more on top of my game and the more centered my life is. So I make the effort to do it every day. I find that if I've got a few pages here that are blank, and these are pages I haven't got to in my week yet, but if I find that I'm skipping pages, odds are I'm avoiding something. Odds are I'm unhappy about something, or I've got anxiety on something, and basically I'm avoiding things. So this ends up turning into a red flag where I say to myself, wait, why haven't I journaled? Something's wrong. And then I actually sit down and I do other exercises to kind of pull that out of me so I can face whatever it is that's bothering me and get back to basically tackling my day. So that's my weekly journal. I'm going to follow this up with a couple other videos to give you a more detailed look at each page and what I'm filling out and why. This is a free PDF download on my website, so feel free to go grab it and give it a shot. In my next videos, I'll tell you more about how to use it. Cool. All right. Well, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.